Hedwyn, can I get you to roll a d20? Okay. So as the group is continuing past this set of structures, you pass a hexagonal one to your left. And there's a bit of live music being played, and you can start to hear the sounds of a bit of a ruckus, and people are raising their voice. What then eventually becomes the scraping of chairs and yells, and the sound of even a table being overturned, and the door bursts open, and there's 6 or 7 individuals that seem to be breaking off into pairs and just fighting each other and just fist to fist, just pounding into each other. There's a whole lot of yelling and screaming. Some of the patrons of the bar have come out and they've got their tankards out, and there. Some of them are cheering. Some people are trying to tear individuals apart, and there seems to be even a little bit more of this chaos that's still occurring within the bar. The music coming to an abrupt halt, and all sorts of yells and calls going out for town guards to show up.
Hulk among any of them?
What did you say, Big Mo?
Is Hulk among any of them?
Make a perception check.
Are we taking the first roll or the second roll?
We are taking the first roll, because now both of the dice show up, which I think is good. So as all of this is going on, Big Mo is scanning the crowd looking for familiar faces. And what you hear is a seemingly it starts very faintly and very quiet, but it's this, and you hear this gradual increase in the volume. Oh, I never increased his life. Fuck. It's supposed to be 20-something. I'll do that later. You see the doors, which started to kind of drift close with the momentum of being thrown open initially. They are once again tossed open anew as you see Holg running out from the entrance to the tavern, and he's got underneath each arm one humanoid in a headlock, and he dives out into the street and then twists his body and lands on one of them.
Is it Danny Sexbang and
It is not.
Kanye
It is
the
not
Giant?
Danny Sexbang and Kanye. The person that he landed on, you hear him sharply exhale his breath as the wind is knocked out of him, and he is left on the ground clutching his ribs after having the near 300-pound mass of Holg, the half-orc, come down on top of him. Flint, you are for the first time seeing this particular individual who is seemingly just loving this. This is his element right here. And the other person that he's that he's got pinned underneath the arm, he slings him using most of his body weight with a hip toss and throws him into a different combatant, and the two of them are then bowled over. And you hear just a hearty belly laugh come out of this big gray-skinned half-orc. And he stops for a moment and makes eye contact with Big Mo. He points to Mo and he says, "Hey, I was wondering when you'd show up." "Oh, and you got a little one too."
Two little ones.
He then takes a quick scan of the rest of the group and recognizes Aya and says, "Glad to see you made it out of there." She nods her head towards him and says, "As if that would slow me down." Holg then leans in and gets really, really close. Oh yeah, well, she didn't miss everyone, but she did miss a hell of a lot of them. And Holg then leans in and gets really, really close, like his face almost right into Flint's face. And who's this? The smell of ale on his breath is it's like this cloud of halitosis that just hits you right in the face.
Take a step back and say, I'm Flint. And you are?
Me. I'm Holg. And he claps one hand on his chest, and then, after a brief moment, he inhales deeply and then belches very, very loudly.
What?
Because he's Flint.
Oh.
Anyway, so as the fight itself is beginning to kind of peter out, the people have either been beaten or have run off, and the town guards. There are sounds of the town guards nearly approaching, and Holg raises an arm and waves all of you deep or further down the coastline. He says, "Well, come on then, before the guards get here." He
As we
skips
walk,
up.
can I ask, why are we following this guy to the group? Or what's going on?
We're following him.
Okay. Okay, got it.
According to Pedwin, he has a sharp tool. But hey, what two men do in a tavern room is not my concern.
Okay. So as you get further down the coastline, and they put some distance between the site of this bar fight and where the guards were all rushing to, a couple of the guards run past you on the way to deal with this scene, and you do notice that these guards they all have matching arms and armor. They definitely appear to be much more highly regimented and organized than the guards you saw at the Crossroads or at Verdale. They seemingly ignore you as they run by, intent on getting to the scene of this disturbance. As Holg heads off towards one of the piers, and again he moves down some of the natural elevation in the land, and again you can't help but note the sight of broken brick and ruined stone. And the docks in this area seem to be a little bit more well constructed. They seem to be a little older, and their foundations are a little better. At the end of which you see a familiar to Big Mo and Pedwin. You see a large ship with two sails and a sizable iron spike coming off the front of it, seemingly as a large needle. The remainder of the figurehead being an ornately carved rope, but it's made of wood as it winds around the front of the ship. And you recognize the insignia of the Weaver that is docked at one of these docks on the coast of the city.
We found the SS Kidney again.
Immediately to the right of that is another familiar ship, this one significantly more unusual, however. And floating in the surface of the water, you see a very oversized, and Flint, you are very confused by this. What you're looking at is basically an enormous fish. And what seems to be even more unusual about this is that the fish itself is just sitting there by the dock. Just kind of bobbing back and forth.
Oh god, what is
And-
this?
You're even more surprised, Flint, when the top of the ship opens up, and literally what appears to be a portion of the fin.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. No, is eye bleach still a sight? God. Okay, good, it is a sight.
Are your eyes sufficiently bleached, Steve-O?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Why did I click that?
It was from 4chan. You had, there was a risk. Flint, what is just on top of all the unusual features about this large fish that's seemingly docked, the dorsal fin on the very top of it swings open, and a doorway just opens up on the middle of this fin, and out steps a small dwarf, roughly the same height as yourself. He is dressed in a red robe and carries a long... Oh, sorry, yes, he is a gnome. My mistake. He's a gnome. So, shorter than you is a gnome with a wiry white mustache and no hair on the top of his head, but he does have a bit of a horseshoe. You can see it coming over, like coming down the sides of his face. But his head is very, very bald, like almost a polished sheen. That's how smooth this is. And he's holding in his hand a long, gnarled wooden staff with a bright green gem curled in the end of it. It seems to be gripped very tightly by this wood. He's wearing a set of red robes, and he has very few adornments aside from a small pendant that hangs around his neck with a large red gem that's embedded in it. And this stands out to Big Mo and Pedwin because it is not something that they saw on him the last time that they met. Boff looks around and makes eye contact with the group, waves, and then hops the meter or so down off the side of the ship and lands on the dock with a thud, and then quick as his little gnome legs will take him, he hobbles up the side of the encampment and raises both of his arms in the air. It's good to see you again! Aya and Boff exchange a few words between the two of them. I'm going to get some water right now.